What's up, YouTube? Flan Speaks. You know how we do. The day after stuff is always the best for me, especially when the Philadelphia Eagles get a victory, especially an impressive one. And this happened after defeating the Buffalo Bills. You have undisputed the next morning Cowboy fans, the favorite number one Eagle hater of all time, Skip Bayless, who just says it flat out on television that he hates the Eagles. He had a response to the game. I thought this was hilarious. So I'm going to, chime in on this here conversation. Uh,
Good morning. Unless you're a Cowboys fan. But it is time to skip the BS. Time for Undisputed. Time for you to fire off your opinions to us at #UndisputedLive. Time for me to start the show by firing off this opinion about those Philadelphia Eagles. I will get to my guys Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson in just a moment, and to Richard Sherman at 10 a.m. Eastern. But first up, I'm going to unleash about those Eagles who've just played the luckiest 4 games in NFL history. 4 straight times they have trailed at halftime by 7 at Washington, by 3 at home to my Cowboys, Michael's Cowboys, by 10 last Monday night in Kansas City, and yesterday by 10 at half at home to Buffalo. And 4 straight times they won while getting badly outgained by all 4 opponents. In these last 4, the Eagles have been outgained by an average of 430 yards to just 321 for Jalen Hurts' offense. What? Yesterday, Buffalo outgained the Eagles 505 yards to 378. And they lost because Josh Allen missed a wide-open Gabe Davis for the winning touchdown in overtime. Last Monday night, the Chiefs literally handed the game.
I know it hurts, Skip. I know it hurts, baby. That's just funny, man. Look at this dude. He sitting there. He can't come up with no real reasons for anything. He just want to say, hey, man, the Eagles out here getting lucky, man. Gabe Davis dropped this. Marcus Valdez-Scantling dropped that. We're going to get back into it in a second. I just wonder, the one question I got is how come, bad teams never get lucky. Carolina Panthers never get lucky. The daggone Raiders don't get lucky. Certain teams just don't get lucky. The Falcons don't get lucky. But Philadelphia Eagles just got lucky. Crazy.
Game to the Eagles by dropping 6 big passes, including, of course, the game winner at the goal line by Valdez-Scantling. I said before the season that the Eagles' defense is torchable. It's now 20th in points allowed. I said the Cowboys would be better than the Eagles. In just the 4th quarter in Philly, Dak Prescott threw for 173 yards to Jalen Hurts 3 yards in that 4th quarter. But Dak, of course...
What happened in the 3rd quarter? Because at halftime, Hurts and Dak's stats were identical. Hurts blew the game away in the 3rd quarter, scoring 2 touchdowns. But all this man wants to do is talk about the 4th quarter. Typical Dallas Cowboy delusional fan.
Course, barely stepped out of bounds on the 2-point try, and Luke Schoonmaker's knee came down an inch short of the goal line on 4th down.
Oh, Shoemaker, don't you get paid to know where the hell you at on the field? Or is that the Eagles' fault?
The Eagles did prevail 28-23. Why, Eagles? Why are you so lucky?
Let me tell you something about luck. Luck comes as a result of being good. That's where it comes from. You fill your roster with good players. You have a great culture. You put in the right leader, which was the problem the Eagles had. The first run went under Carson Wentz. It was a pretty well-built team. Good offensive line, good defensive line, some good skilled players, but the wrong leader. We recognized that. Jeffrey Lurie was thinking ahead of time. They went and changed leadership. And you see what's happening. Luck, man, only comes to those who do the right thing, baby.
But that luck is about to run out. The Eagles are about to lose at home to San Francisco, then at Dallas, and the Cowboys and the Eagles will be tied at 10-3. Bucket!
See, this is the thing about Cowboy fans, right? They see the San Francisco 49ers as this big grim reaper of a team that just, oh my God, you know. But what they don't understand is the San Francisco 49ers in the mind of Eagles fans and definitely in the minds of the Eagles locker room, they're nothing. They're nothing. They're a team with a whole bunch of talk who came in here with that dumb stuff last year, got sent home with their tail between their legs. They're nothing to the Eagles.
But for now, I give it up to Jalen Hurts for pulling out 4 straight win yesterday, 37-34 in overtime in the game of the year so far in the NFL. Okay, now that I got that off my chest.
See, this is the thing with Skip Bayless, right? Skip Bayless spent 20 years defending Tom Brady for these exact types of wins. For 20 years, defending Tom Brady. Tom Brady come through, winning the clutch, win games by 2 points, by 3 points. Matter of fact, the 0-4 season, the Patriots had won all their games by an average of less than 4 points. In 0-4. Look that up.
It is time for Michael. It is time for Keyshawn. Michael, please, you first, your thoughts on Bills Eagles.
First of all, I thought Josh Allen was superhuman yesterday when I watched him play.
Yes, he was. Josh Allen was a beast. He came and tried to do everything he could to win that game.
He did everything he needed to do to try to lift this team and win that football game. And you're right, Skip, they missed that play, over in overtime on that zero blitz.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, guys, when I get overwhelmed, feeling stressed, or even feel a little tidbit depressed, I either got to go to sleep or go work out in the gym. It's all that happens. I got to get it off of me.
I know that feeling.
I have to go to sleep or go to the gym.
Yeah.
I watched that Eagles game, and then I got up right after the game and went right to the gym.
Yeah, Michael Irvin. See, let me explain something to y'all, right? This man right here, Michael Irvin, one of the greatest wide receivers in the history of the league. This man right here has been a part of 3 championship games. He's part of a 4th team that actually made it to the championship game, but lost to the San Francisco 49ers. This guy knows what a solid team that is well coached, well cultured, with winning pedigree, he knows what that looks like. And he's watching this team cut down this gauntlet that he and Skip Bayless sat there and talked about for weeks was going to be the opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to catch up. You see, they looked at the Dallas Cowboys schedule. They saw Commanders, they saw Giants, they saw Panthers, they saw all these cream cakes and cream puffs. And they assumed, all right, this is the time. This is right here. Even though they lost their opportunity to beat the Eagles themselves in a game they feel like they should have won. They're watching the Eagles go into Kansas City. Before that, Miami, at home. And then beating Buffalo. And they're not sure if their team can do that. Because what happens against these teams, your defense is not going to dominate Josh Allen. I don't care how great you think your defense is. Your defense is not going to just dominate Patrick Mahomes. I don't care how great you think your defense is. Your defense is not going to just dominate the Miami Dolphins. I don't care how great you think Deron Bland and Micah Parsons are. The reality is, you will be in situations when you have teams that match you talent-wise, you will be in shootouts. And what's bothering Michael Irvin is he knows to beat the Philadelphia Eagles ain't going to be no day where your defense just goes out there and get 5 scoops and scores and Dak Prescott get a bunch of short field. That ain't happening, and he knows it's going to come down to your gunslinger versus our gunslinger. He knows that. And it got him stressed because while he knows Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, he is not certain that Dak Prescott could go back and forth with Patrick Mahomes, that Dak Prescott can go back and forth with Josh Allen, and that he knows Jalen Hurts can. And I love it.
For you.
Because I'm going to tell you something. I said to myself, wow, I saw what it would take to beat that team. It's going to take something real serious to beat that team. And I'm not talking about a physical skill set. I'm not talking about how fast you can run. I'm talking about a deep down unity in a team and an individual to conquer that team.
He's talking about mental toughness, folks. And he's not certain that the Dallas Cowboys have that. As I've been saying all year, that's the difference between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Mental toughness, discipline, focus. And it starts at the top with the coaching staff. Think whatever you want about Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni has built a great culture, and he also knows how to motivate his team. And Jalen Hurts is, next to Patrick Mahomes, probably the best leader in the NFL.
What Jalen Hurts has done with this team, you mentioned it, Skip. They've been down. They've been down, trailing at halftime. Every one of those games, they come back and win. When I watched that big boy, 400 pounds, running across that field, going after Josh Allen. That's 400 pounds. There wasn't nothing wrong with him when he hit the ground, except he's exhausted his tank. Yeah. It was the theory and the thought that I tried to give to our team. I remember walking into that team when we were playing the 49ers for the first time. You had to have the mentality in that championship game because they were the favorites. You had to have the mentality, death before defeat. I walked around saying, death before defeat. We're willing to leave it all on this field before we leave here losers. And I saw that in the Philadelphia Eagles. They're willing to leave it all on this field before they walk out losers. It's going to take something to beat that team. I must give them credit. It depressed me to see
oh, man.
that. It depressed me. That's how well they played. The number 2 stepped up when the number 1, A.J. Brown, couldn't get played. Devontae Smith stepped right up and made the play that they need to make to win the game. He always steps up and makes the play. It's not like, okay, that's the first time he did it. He does it all the time.
Because the Eagles have a 1A, 1B situation, not a 1 and a 2.
I told you, this is a special unit. I saw it years ago when I saw them coming together. Leadership is not something that we give enough attention to and enough credit to. The way Jalen Hurts handles himself in those situations make me calm. I found myself feeling jealousy because that's what I want to feel in Cowboys game.
There it is. He found himself feeling jealousy. If I could rewind that constantly, I would. I should. But I don't want to annoy y'all. That's it right there. He knows what he sees. And he knows that while Dallas is talented, he knows the missing ingredient is that mental toughness. And he's not sure if they're ready for that.
Even when they're down 10 or down 14, we're good. We're good. We got that guy right there. We're not going to lose. And that's what Philadelphia had a chance. And that's what they felt like. And that's what I felt like watching the game.
Look at that now. We got Michael Irvin saying he knows Jalen Hurts. Really, what he's saying is he knows he's better than Dak Prescott because he knows that while both of them can perform at a high level, this guy right here, Jalen, he can perform at the high level when it matters. Dak Prescott, he's not sure about that. And Michael's not the only one who feels that way. Skip Bayless also feels that way. He hates to admit it, but he does feel that way. And you know who else feels that way? Jerry Jones. On no less than 2 occasions did we hear Jerry Jones bring up Jalen Hurts this season. And even last year he brought him up. Jerry Jones actually said that they would have taken Jalen Hurts in that draft when Jalen Hurts was drafted. And you know they had Dak Prescott at that time. He said he would have taken Jalen Hurts. Unbelievable. And this is the truth of the matter. So all you Dallas Cowboy fans, you can sit up there and say Hurts is a running back. He can't throw the ball. Dak Prescott is better. all of that. But what you can't say is that Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, has ever said anything about some damn Dak Prescott. And you cannot say that any Philadelphia Eagles, former player or fans or anyone, has ever said they'd rather have Dak Prescott or say they're jealous about Dak Prescott or they fear Dak Prescott or any of that.
Even though Buffalo they were dominating the football game, I kept saying, well, they got that fella right there. They won't lose, and that's exactly what happened, Key. I'm telling you, Key, when you see a team like that, it's going to take something to break it. This team is a team that lost in the Super
Checkmate.
Bowl, and now back to back 10-1 starts. We had an argument yesterday on my other show, which one was more impressive. Everybody wanted to say last year they were more impressive because they were talking about the technicality of it. Oh, Jalen Hurts was much more accurate this year. They had a much more powerful run game. Are you joking? They have played 11 Super Bowls. Every team they play is like this team. It's like that team's Super Bowl. So they played 11 Super Bowls.
You better listen to this man, Cowboy Nation. Y'all better listen to your man. He knows what championship pedigree looks like because he's been a part of it. Y'all better listen to him. I know y'all hate, but you better listen to your man.
Came out 10-1. Are you joking? That's leadership. That's quality play from the quarterback position. I find it so impressive that I was depressed. It's the way I got to say it.
Depressed because he does not know if his team, the Dallas Cowboys of 2023, can match it.
Eagles have completely won you over.
What they did won me over. They can never win me over. But what I see in their man won me over. And I saw what it's going to have to take in the Dallas Cowboys to beat it. You saw what
he's also doing. He's low-key trying to send a message to Dak Prescott. Like, listen, man, you got to step up like this guy's stepping up. That's part of what he's doing, too. He's playing a little bit of reverse psychology there.
I like to call Herculean effort from the quarterback, Josh Allen. Dak Prescott will have to match that. But we talk about the Eagles right now. But I'm just saying, that's what, that was a tough one.
You're talking about the Eagles, but you also mentioned the Cowboys in there.
That was a tough one.
In terms of your opening, what would I call it, monologue skill?
Yeah,
is that
rant.
I'm debating over whether I'm going to go over Keyshawn Johnson's part. I'm going to leave the link here in the bottom so that you could catch that if you want to catch the whole thing. Keyshawn is just pretty much doing a lot of the same defending I'm doing, so I don't really see the purpose of it. He's kind of like more so arguing on behalf of the oppression of the Eagles there. What I really want to do is focus on the two Cowboy fans here because they pretty much represent the split that's in Cowboy Nation. You got the realistic ones and you got the delusional ones. Michael Irvin has been delusional all season, and Skip Bayless is always going to be delusional, whether it's sincere or not. Sometimes I think he's just putting on an act, whatever the case may be. He represents the delusional fan here who says, it's all the refs, it's all the other teams choking, it's all the Eagles being lucky, and then somehow luck is going to fall out, going to run out. Like, which one is it? Is it the refs helping them, or is it just the other teams messing up, or is it just luck, right? Because, if you believe it's the refs, are the refs going to all of a sudden stop calling it helping the Eagles, if you think that's what it is? You think our players are all of a sudden going to stop dropping balls and stuff like that, or start dropping balls? Like, what is it? Because you can't have it both ways. Either the team is good or the team is lucky, right? And then you have, and that's the majority of. I don't know if it's the majority of Cowboy fans or is it the voice of the loud majority? Because sometimes you get, or the loud minority. Sometimes you get a minority that's very vocal, and then you get a majority Cowboy fans who, somewhere in the middle or somewhere where Michael Irvin is. Michael Irvin is resigned because he, being a football player, he has to have a certain level of integrity about it. He can't be so delusional to the point where he says, it's the refs and all of that, because he was part of a success himself. He knows what it looks like. But that's all I got for y'all. We're not going to make this too long. I thought this was hilarious, so I wanted to just put this out. Peace.